Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, I don't quite understand those no, I don't. I don't plan to plea. I guess I'll answer in affirmative if Demers is not acquiesced to quasi-juris.
Right.
I'm Gordy. I'm not Mr. Cooley. I'm Gordy. I'm a man. I'm not a person. If you have any papers in front of you with my signature on them, it's because that is what was required for me to get away from my captors.
Alright guys, today we got another wild one in court. A truly over-the-top sovereign citizen was convinced is somehow above the law from the very start. This guy comes in with that smug "you can't touch me" attitude, claiming the police captured him like he's a prisoner of war or something, and then it gets even more unbelievable. He goes on a full-blown rant that the judge insisting the court has no authority over him, and that is not bound by any law, but that's just not how the real world works. No matter how many YouTube videos these folks watch or how many made-up loopholes they quote, you can't simply opt out of the law because you don't like it. The system doesn't bend around fantasy legal theories. What really makes this one stand out is how confidently he doubles down on his nonsense, like he truly believes has uncovered some secret everyone else missed. You almost have to wonder, is he self-aware enough to realize how absurd he sounds, or is he genuinely lost in his own? Please let me know in the comments what you think. Is this guy just trolling the court, or is he completely detached from reality? Either way, this hearing is about to get heated, so let's dive right in and see how it all unfolds.
You'll need to unmute your screen, sir.
Yes, I am the man that is that person.
So you're Gordon Cooley?
Yep.
Very well. State appears by Jill Gillette, County Attorney. Mr. Cooley, there's been an amended complaint filed on, it looks like, April 17th. You're charged with driving while suspended as a second offense for on or about March the 25th of 2024 in Elk County, Kansas. If indeed you have a prior conviction where this would be a second offense, that's a Class A misdemeanor. A Class A misdemeanor is punishable up to 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $2,500. Additionally, with a second offense for driving while suspended, there's a mandatory 5-day minimum sentence. However, a person can be placed on probation from that, but there is mandatory sentence that would have to be imposed. Do you understand what you're charged with?
No, I don't quite understand those no, I don't.
What's your question in regards to what you're charged with?
Well, I think this is a matter of a mistaken identity. My persons was never involved in anything. I'm carrying my property from point A to point B. I have there's no vested interest of the state to even stop me. I'm exercising my God-given constitutionally protected rights, and I stated that to the man acting as the police officer. I didn't present him with a license.
You are charged, sir. Hold on. You're charged with driving while suspended, a second offense. That would indicate to me that you've had a first offense.
No.
So have you been in court before on this type of charge?
Nope, not on driving while suspended. No, I have not.
All right. Well, that is what you're charged with. You don't have to agree with it. You can certainly, that is an issue at trial if you feel you have a defense. As with the others that I've explained, you have certain rights. You are charged with a misdemeanor, so you are entitled to be represented by a counsel. And if you wish to apply for court-appointed counsel, if you meet the financial guidelines, I would appoint one to represent you. You also have the right to represent yourself. You also have the right to have counsel of your own choosing at your own expense. So at this time, if you wish to have a trial, if you wish to speak with an attorney or counsel, would he qualify under any programs you have, since you charge this as a second offense?
No.
All right. So apparently diversion wouldn't be an option for you. So if you're wishing to have a trial or to speak with an attorney, your plea at this time should be not guilty. If you wish to plead guilty, then we'd proceed to sentencing. But based upon what you're telling me, those would be issues that could be addressed at trial. So at this time, how do you wish to plead?
I don't plan to plea. I guess I'll answer an affirmative that Demers is not acquiesced to quasi
All right.
jurisdiction.
If you're not going to enter a formal plea, you're standing mute, and I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf.
Okay, I exercise my right to trial by jury then. I'd like to face the man or the woman that claims I've done them harm or loss.
Mr. Cooley, if you wish to have a trial by
I'm
jury.
Gordy. I'm not Mr. Cooley. I'm Gordy. I'm a man. I'm not a person.
All right. Mr. Cooley.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
You need to be quiet for a moment. I'm going to explain what the situation is.
I've got to say this has to be one of the goofiest names and wildest offenses I've ever seen. I mean, come on, Gordy, and now is out here claiming identity fraud like the courts, just going to fall for that excuses, acting like some kind of criminal mastermind pulling off a grand scheme. But realize just digging his own grave deeper and deeper. Let's talk about the law for a second. Lying in court, also known as perjury, is no joke. If you don't know, perjury means making false statements under oath, and it's a felony, depending on where you are, that can land you up to 5 years in prison, not to mention some seriously hefty fines. And beyond that, it completely destroys your credibility in the legal system once you're caught lying under oath. Good luck being taken seriously again. It follows you forever. So here's Gordy throwing around these ridiculous claims and acting like he's smarter than the system, but all he's really doing is digging himself into a hole he won't be able to climb out of. What do you guys think about Gordy so far, and what's your take on the judge? Do you think they're handling this the right way? Let's dive back in and see how this mess unfolds.
You're represented by counsel. You entered a plea, refusing to enter a plea, which is fine. A person can stand mute, and I will set this matter for trial. If you wish to be or have a jury trial, you have the right to do so. However, you need to do that in the proper form. With a misdemeanor offense, you have to file a written motion for that request. Otherwise, it's set before the court. So you would need to do that in a timely way. If you're going to represent yourself, you would have to follow the rules as though you're an attorney. So all of those things would, most people don't have the training to where if they're going to do a jury trial, they're better off being represented by counsel. But that's a choice that you're going to have to make.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Can there be a valid cause of action without an injured party?
Sir, that's not a valid question for what we're doing here today.
I've tried settling this matter in the private twice. If you have any papers in front of you with my signature on them, it's because that is what was required for me to get away from my captors.
Gordy trying to play the victim after committing a calm like, come on, man, you did a crime now, you've got to do the time, and it's only 5 days, it's not like he's getting a life sentence here. What really gets me is how so many sovereign citizens refuse to take accountability. It's always someone else's fault, the system, the judge, the police, anyone but themselves. And honestly, it makes you wonder, is this where America's headed, a place where people think they can just talk there? Way out of responsibility because they don't believe the law applies to them. It's getting ridiculous. Every day there seems to be more and more people trying to dodge accountability. And it's turning into a full-blown trend. Does anyone else notice this? Because I swear it's becoming way too common. All right, let's dive back in and see what happens next.
I don't understand what a man thinks that he has the authority to take another man and throw them in a box when they have harmed no man or woman, no claim has been brought against them.
You need to be quiet now. We're going to give you a court date, and you can advise me how you're going to proceed at that court date. If you're going to apply for a jury trial, then you'll need to make that application by that time. Otherwise, you'll be set for a bench trial. That's before the court. Sarah, could you give us a date, please?
What sort of time frame would you like, Judge? 30 minutes?
Approximately 30 days, 30 minutes would be fine.
We can do May 15th at 2:30.
Judge, I'm out that afternoon. We could do 11:30 if there's nothing else scheduled there.
We put that for a trial and for an hour, didn't we? So
If you only need 30 minutes, we could do the 11 to 12.
well, we said something at 10:30, I believe, or was it the 10 o'clock that was set for trial?
It was the 10:30 to 11:30 that was set.
Okay, let's set this at 11:30 for a pretrial. So, Mr. Cooley, you will need to appear at the courthouse in Howard. And if you're going to file a motion for a jury trial, you need to have done so by that time. If you're going to hire an attorney, you need to do that. If you're going to apply for an attorney, I would suggest that you do that as soon as possible, so that you can have counsel at that time.
Am I going to be able to face the man or the woman that has a claim before me, or are you going to discharge the matter? If there's not a man or a woman here, then this matter needs to be discharged.
Sir, I've heard these arguments before, and those are not legal arguments. Somebody's made these things.
I'm not a member of the legal society.
Sir,
Can you bring the law to the court, please? Can we bring the law to the court?
Mr. Cooley, stop interrupting. At your hearing, if you have motions that you wish to have heard, you can file them in advance. I would strongly recommend you be represented by counsel. But your court appearance is May 15th at 11:30, and you are to be here in person.
I will invoke my common law right.
I actually seem to believe he's a victim here. I mean, maybe he doesn't, I can't say for sure, but it definitely looks like he does. He's acting like the whole system is out to get him. Then again, maybe he is just putting on an act to try and dodge the case altogether. Either way, it's a complete mess. And seriously, why do these sovereign citizens always bring up the where's a victim argument? Like, dude, if you're driving without a license, you're the one breaking the law. The court doesn't need a victim in the room to hold you accountable. It's wild how they keep trying to twist the legal system to fit their fantasy version of reality. Now, I'll be honest, people like Gordy and a lot of these other sovereign citizens we've covered, they honestly seem mentally off, but at the same time, I can kind of understand why some of them do it. If you're broke, can't afford the fines, and just want to buy yourself a few extra days, maybe this whole sovereign citizen thing feels like a last resort. Still, though, that doesn't make it right. It's idiotic and a total waste of taxpayer money, but I'm really curious what you guys think. Do you think Gordy actually believed his own nonsense, or was he just trying to play the system? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more court hearings just like this. I really appreciate all the support, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.